Brothers and sisters, today's gospel is much different than some of the gospels we've heard. This gospel is much more than what its face value is. It's Jesus warning us. We know it's the story of the rich man and Lazarus, and at first glance we seem to think it's just about helping the poor. But Jesus is pointing out something much bigger. He wants to get to the heart of where we're at. The response of the voice of God. Not as much as about what was going on, but really about our hearts. And he's giving us a very stern warning. The rich man didn't end up in torment because of his wealth. It was because he had closed eyes, closed ears, and really more importantly, a closed heart to Lazarus. He ignored him. Every day, Lazarus at his doorstep. He might have even walked over him. Never maybe a glance, never a thought. His sin was not what he did, but really what he failed to do. He could have noticed Lazarus. He could have, as a rich man, maybe even said to his servant, "Why don't you feed him?" But he failed to do nothing. This gospel has struck me for many years. Because about 6 or 7 years ago, it was a Saturday afternoon, and I was in my car doing my normal things, rushing around here and there, and I was going to the shopping center, Giant Eagle, you know, the one on 30, McDonald's, Giant Eagle. And as I was pulling in off of 30, I saw a man standing there holding a sign that says, "Needed help." And I went in, did my stuff, rushed out, and as I was leaving, he was still there, and I just kept on going. I only lived maybe 200 yards from Giant Eagle. And about halfway home, I had to drop stuff off. The Holy Spirit was prompting me to turn around and go back. Put the shoulders down, and I said, okay, let me go home, let me drop the stuff off, and I'll turn around and go back. So I did that. 10 minutes later, I drove back, and he was gone. I failed to do what the Holy Spirit asked me to do. I will be accountable for that when it comes time to stand in front of God. Because he said to me, "Move now." That's what this gospel is about. To look inwardly in what we do in our lives and how we live our lives, not only for the poor, yes, but the bigger picture is the people around us. We're so connected to the world in 2025 that we are constantly doing this and not even picking our head up to look at the world around us. We carry more distractions than any generation. We will ignore a person if it makes us feel uncomfortable. And it's easy to do so, isn't it? I'm too busy. I got to go here. It's not the temptation that we do something evil, but it's really more staying busy and never noticing the people who need it. That cry of someone. Many times when I'm on social media and looking, there'll be people saying, "Say a prayer for me." They're having some kind of issue. And it's easy to sit there and text right back, "Sure, I'll say a prayer for you." But do we ever just pick up the phone and call them if you know them? What's going on? Can we meet? And we just sit and talk. Do we even really pray for him? Jesus is warning us. Don't wait. Don't put it off. Don't tell yourself, just let me stop home and I'll go back. Later never comes sometimes. And the gospel is challenging us to live our lives with eyes wide open, with ears wide open, with the hearts wide open. Not the stony hearts, but the fleshy hearts. The ones that hear that whisper from the Holy Spirit. The willingness of when the Holy Spirit is pushing us to interrupt our lives, to interrupt our plans, to do what the Holy Spirit is asking us. Because really the greatest sin may be the one that we commit by doing nothing. And if we do nothing, where are we? The question for us is, when we meet Lazarus this week, or the next week, or tomorrow, in whatever form he or she is, will we ignore? Will we walk across the street? Will we scroll past with that quick, I'll pray for you? Or we will walk away? That person is Christ. And let me say that again. That person is Christ that we ignore maybe because we don't want to be bothered or we feel uncomfortable. Every time we ignore the Lazarus in our lives, we close the door on Christ. Think about it. The Son of God, Jesus, we close the door because we don't want to be bothered. I hope that we can pray for our courage to listen to that soft voice, to really make an effort, get ourselves out of being uncomfortable and not delay. Because really, in the end, this parable is not about the wealthy rich man or Lazarus being poor. It's really about us being ready to open our hearts here and now, in this time period where we're at. Because if we don't, it'll be too late.